Do we need a GoPro Hero 4 in order to get high quality recording? What's going on, everybody? This is Jay, and this is my unboxing and review of the Eken H8. Let's get started. The Eken H8 is a very inexpensive action camera that I got from the website tinydeal.com for only $78 and let me tell you that I don't regret it a bit. This one in particular records in 4K 30 frames per second. We also got 2K at 30 frames per second, 1080p 60 frames per second, and if I'm not mistaken, it goes 720p 120 frames per second. It is powered by the Sunplus SPCA6350 processor inside, and also we have the Sony Sensor, which is the IMX078. It is a 12 megapixel sensor, and again with the ability to record in 4K, and let me tell you guys that the quality on this particular camera is stunning. If you guys saw my unboxing and review of the Up Air 1 drone, it came with this camera, which is the rebranding of the Firefly 6S. It is a very nice camera. As you guys saw from that recording, it records in 4K up to 24 frames per second. But I still believe that the H8 is a little bit more superior in terms of focus, the colors, the saturation, and so on. So looking here at the box, we can already tell that we don't have any brandings whatsoever. So if we look here on the side of the box, we can already find some of the accessories supported inside or that comes included with the camera. On the back, we have some of the specifications. Again, it comes with the Sony IMX Sensor 078. It does come with 360 virtual reality, but I really don't trust it, guys. It's more of a gimmick than anything else, so I really don't use it, to be honest with you. We have a 2-inch screen and also a 1-inch screen on the front side, very similar here to my GoPro Hero 4. Again, it records in 4K 30 frames per second, so on and so forth. It does have wide angle, which is a very important feature. It goes up to 170 degrees, which is amazing. It does support multi-language. It does support SD card expansion up to 128 gigabytes. The battery inside is a 1050 milliamp 3.7 volts. And I believe that I can fit other camera batteries as well. You have to confirm that later on. And here we have the dimensions of the camera. It looks quite similar to the measurements of the GoPro Hero 4. As a matter of fact, it's slightly smaller. So yes, you can fit cases for the GoPro Hero 4 into this camera, which is really cool. And then on the bottom here, it is claiming to give you about 80 minutes. In my personal experience, I got about 55 to 60 minutes recording in 4K. So it is still, guys, a very long time. Here you can notice that we have a QR code, so you can download the application and use the Wi-Fi transmission in case you want to record directly from your smartphone and whatnot. So opening the box, inside we're going to see the camera itself. Let's go ahead and pull it out. So here we have the camera. It comes already inside the waterproof casing. The latch on the top is a little different from our typical action camera. On the back here we see that 2-inch screen already. We got the this is the Wi-Fi button on the side. On the front we have the power on switch. This is also a mode button, and on the top you have a selector, and this is also your shutter button. So as you guys can see, some of them have multi-purposes. So let me go ahead and set this aside. I almost dropped it, as you guys saw. So now here we also have some of the mounts. This is the bicycle mount. You also have some other cool mounts on here included. It comes with a whole bunch of them. Like I said before, guys, this is not the one with the remote controller, so you won't see it. Right here we got the straps. We have the charger. I got the European kind, so make sure that you order the proper one when you order yours. And here we have some clips. And then I believe on the bottom side here, we're going to have the manuals for this little action camera together with the cleaning cloth. So if you guys have seen my Chinese action cameras, this one comes exactly with the same accessories for the most part. Nothing changes here. We got the USB cable and so on and so forth. Now, talking about the USB cable, this particular camera uses the micro kind. Unlike my GoPro Hero 4 here, it uses the standard one, which is a little bit of an inconvenience because it's not very popular nowadays. And the same thing goes here with my Firefly 6S. You guys can see that it uses the same port as the GoPro Hero 4, something that I find to be a little bit of an inconvenience. So here we got the manuals. Okay, very self-explanatory. I mean, it's very easy to use this thing. It's just telling you here how to turn it on, how to start recording, how to install the SD card, and so on and so forth. So nothing very special here. So now that we know what comes inside of the box, let me go ahead and focus now on the action camera, which is what you guys want to see. So now that we're getting back here to the camera, let me go ahead and open the upper latch here so that we can release the camera from inside and get a closer look around the product. This is a nice and sturdy case, by the way. It is completely waterproof. I already tested it. I even put it on the water and it did quite well. There was not a single drop of water on my camera, which is really important. So here, getting a look at the design of this camera, it looks similar, but at the same time very different from the GoPro Hero 4, as we know already. On the front there, we have that 1-inch screen. We also have the lens. That's the IMX sensor, the 078 from Sony. On the left hand side or the right hand side, if you're looking at it from the back, we have here the little Wi-Fi key. This is also a back key, in case you guys didn't know. And on the back here, we have that 2-inch screen. It has a port resolution of about 240 by 240, so don't expect anything crazy here. On the left hand side, we got, or the right hand side, if you're looking at it from the front, we got the SD card slot, which supports it up to 128 gigabytes. We have there the mic. We have the HDMI port, the standard micro USB port, as I mentioned earlier. And on the bottom side here, we have a little cover that comes with the battery. I believe that if I remove the battery, it's going to reset the whole thing. So this is the 1050 milliamp battery. Okay, and it is made by the manufacturer. As a matter of fact, we do have a model number on there and so on. So now, with that being said about the battery, on the top side here we have another microphone. It comes with 2 different mics, and then we also have here the shutter key. This is also a selector for your options on the settings. So getting this thing powered on, you must hold this button for about 2 seconds, and here we're going to see the animation on the front of the screen and also on the back side. So here in the front of the screen, you're going to see basically your battery status, your Wi-Fi status, and if it's in either recording or camera mode for pictures, and also the resolution, as you guys can tell. So it is very simple, and I do like the colors. It looks very attractive in my opinion, and it's very bright. Even on the sunlight, you can still see it, which is great. If you're flying a drone or something, you can see everything that's going on here, which is really cool. Then on the back side here, we find the basics. You can see what we are recording and such. We have the little battery logo. We have the current resolution that we are recording in, which is 1080p 60 frames per second, and that's pretty much it. If we press here the mode button once, it'll take us into picture mode. Right now it's at 12 megapixels wide angle. If you press it once more, it goes into burst mode. Okay, 12 megapixel wide angle. If you press it once more, it goes into recording mode, or actually this is time lapse in wide mode as well. Press it once more, it goes into that fake 360 type of recording, which is very annoying. I don't use this at all, guys, to be honest with you. It's more of a gimmick than anything else. Okay, and then finally it's going to bring us here to where we can go ahead and play the videos directly from the camera, view the photos, and finally go into settings. Now unfortunately right now I don't have an SD card installed, so some of the settings will be limited, but at least we can see the actual recording or the max recording resolution. So here we go. Let me go ahead and select this option. Right now we have it at 1080p 60 frames, but if you continue to see this towards the bottom, it goes to 4K 30 frames per second, 2K 30 frames per second, and that's about it. I know that I mentioned earlier that I believe that it goes up to 720p 120 frames per second, but no, that's not this camera. I believe that I got it confused here with the Firefly 6S. This particular one only goes into 1080p 60 frames per second at the max. So I do apologize if I provided there a little bit of wrong information. So let me go ahead and select this. Again, this is your back key as well. So there we go. We got back into the recording mode. Scrolling down here, which is the front button here, we got the photo resolution. This one goes up to 12 megapixel, like I said before. So it all comes in wide angle as well. We have loop video recording, we have metering, we have timestamp, which I have it off. We can change the exposure, the burst photo mode, the time lapse, the continuous lapse, power frequency. We can do it to 50 hertz and 60 hertz. As you guys can tell right there, I have it currently at 50 hertz right now. I'm leaving it stock so that we can compare here with the GoPro Hero 4, also in stock, and with the Firefly 6S. We're going to be going to the park very shortly. The next option here is the languages. So this is everything that we have supported on here, which is about, I would say like 10 or 12 if I'm not mistaken. It comes in many languages available, which is really nice. It's definitely a plus for a lot of people out there. You can also change the date and time, and so on and so forth, guys. So again, all the settings here are very basic for any camera out there. The current version on this one, let me go ahead and click it, is the Action Cam H8. Again, there's another model that says Action Cam H8R, which has basically just the remote is the difference there. So there we have it, guys. So now with this being said, let me go back here into the settings by clicking back, and there we go. So now I'm going to show you how to download the application and get it set up. To get the application set up is very easy. First of all, you must download the application itself. So for this, I went ahead and downloaded my own QR code reader. And after doing so, you go ahead and scan it here from the box, and it'll give you a link and then start downloading automatically for you. After it is downloading, you go ahead and install it. And this is the application. It's used actually by other cameras as well. That's why I said that this product is generic and not a original brand. So to connect now, all you do is just tap on the device. At first, it'll say searching for device. For this, you need to tap the Wi-Fi button once. And there we go. Right now, we have gotten into the Wi-Fi connection mode, and sometimes it takes about 30 to 20 seconds at the most. Sometimes it's a little bit faster. Now, to be honest with you, this is not the best Wi-Fi transmission ever. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't rely on this thing to get it connected. There you guys saw that it failed, so we're gonna try that here one more time. Okay, so there we go. We have finally connected here, and as you guys can tell, it is not very sensitive or very fast, if you want to call it that way. There is a little bit of a lag, but the cool part is that you can change the recording resolution directly from here. Now, if you have the SD card installed, depending on what version of an SD card you have, which I would recommend something like a Samsung brand or something of high quality, it'll tell you here that it can go up to 4K, but right now, since I don't have anything installed on here, it's giving me the option of 1080p 60 frames per second. You can also change the white balance. Here we have some more settings and so on. But this application, guys, is really laggy. I wouldn't recommend this to use it as a reliable source. To be quite honest with you guys, right now I think it's just froze. So at least I show you exactly how the Wi-Fi transmission works. And again, it is not the most reliable. So with this being said, what we're going to do now is jump to the park as always. Unfortunately, this video has been made in 1080p 60 frames per second, so we have to use only that resolution for now. But I will be providing a separate video comparing these cameras together with it in 4K resolution. But for right now, we're still going to compare them at 1080p 60 frames per second. And again, this is the GoPro Hero 4, the Firefly 6S, and the Eken H8. Let's go to the park. Hey, what is going on, guys? This is Jay, and now we are comparing here the GoPro Hero 4 with the Eken H8. Both of them recording at 1080p 60 frames per second. Right now we are using the audio on the Eken H8. Pretty soon we'll be converting to the GoPro Hero 4. So far, based on the screen recording, I would say that on the GoPro Hero 4 we have a little bit more brightness, a little bit more realistic colors. But the final testing has to be completed on the computer, of course, using the same screen. On the other hand, I believe the Eken H8 has better white balance. But on the GoPro Hero 4 we have better stabilization. We will test it on a ride with the car. I will also be doing a recording at nighttime. Please, on the comment section below, let me know which one you think is better. Well, coming back from the recording, I think I have my verdict here, guys. All these cameras actually record nicely, and yes, they can be tweaked to have better recording quality. But now coming out of the box, I think that this one has the best colors. I think it has the best focus. The white balance is amazing. I mean, I know that these two are very competitive as well, but at least on my personal experience and the way that I see recordings going, I think that this one is very, very nice, especially for the price, only $78 US. I think it's quite amazing. I know that the Firefly is about the same price by now because it has been in the market for about 4 or 5 months. But yes, guys, this one is really, really cool, and I would recommend it to anybody out there. Now, something that I have to complain about is the battery lifetime. If you guys want better battery performance, I would recommend getting a secondary battery, and you won't regret it. Other than that, I don't have any complaints whatsoever. Actually, I do have one more. Just be careful with the screen. It looks like it's very cheaply made. This part right here, the black side, the bezels are glued in, so if you guys are not careful, it can come apart. So for this, just make sure that you use the waterproof casing, and that will resolve the issue. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, just leave your comments below. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you on my next one.